All right, welcome back to the T1K Podcast. It has been a week. Last week we came in and we announced some major drama on the podcast. We talked about it. Joe was late. That was the big drama. And then as we were wrapping up and putting the microphones up, JC got a text that the lodge was being raided by what we thought at the time was the FBI, and the drama shifted immediately.
I got a phone call during the episode, and I just ignored it, and then I called back right after, and I was like, "Oh, the lodge just got raided."
Yeah, this is obviously like major news. It obviously impacts our community pretty aggressively. So this is just the neutral, straightforward take on it. Austin, Texas. An investigation is underway following a raid at a popular card club in Round Rock last week. The Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission executed a raid at Lodge Card Club Austin last Tuesday, March 10th, citing an ongoing investigation into suspected money laundering and illegal gambling. A spokesperson with the agency said that approximately 20 TABC agents were involved with the operation, along with officers from the Williamson County Sheriff's Office and the IRS. Dude, I've heard a lot of different takes on what's going down. Let's start with you. What do you think this is?
It could be one of many things. It could be political. It could be just kind of like on the county level. So it's kind of interesting that the lodge in San Antonio wasn't touched. Mm-hmm. No other card rooms were raided. Yeah, I mean, a little like inside information. Like I heard the story behind what happened, and it was 20, 30 police officers come in, like semi-aggressively. They put up all the employees like against the wall. They tell everyone in the cash game area that they can't cash their chips out, that they have to take them home and cash them out at a later date. And then they show I guess they show the management a warrant and then then they go straight for the money. So, and they seem to pick a perfect time to confiscate cash, because it was, I think, the day after a large guaranteed tournament. So there was, I think, more cash on hand at the lodge than normal, allegedly. So yeah, it kind of seemed like a cash grab.
Yeah, I mean,
potentially.
There's a couple, I guess you could call them conspiracy theories. By the way, Brandon, do you mind just closing this one, because the ads are just insane on that tab? Yeah, it's dude, shout out every news website on the internet for having the most over-the-top fucking ad tabs. But two things that I saw online that I thought were pretty interesting was first is the definition of like money laundering within a poker context. So like when you think money laundering and a Texas card house or a Texas poker house, like what you imagine is somebody taking in cash from illegal activities and then needing to turn it into like a pay stub so that they have proof that they can spend the money. I guess that's not the definitions around money laundering are a lot looser than that. So I didn't know this. If you and I are playing like a poker game, mm-hmm. We've all got chips on the table and we've all gone in and walked in with however much money we have in cash and bought chips. And all of a sudden, like, you start cleaning up, you start playing really well, and I start playing bad, and I lose. I bust.
Yeah.
And I want to buy back in. The legal way to buy back in is you have to buy chips from someone that is a representative of the club. I can't go to you and go, hey, you got a pretty good stack. You've been cleaning everybody out. Here's $500. And then you give me $500 in chips. I guess there's a pretty loose definition of money laundering where technically that is illegal.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially off the stack. But yeah, there is, I mean, you are allowed to loan people money up to a certain amount, or, you know, as a gift. You're allowed to gift people money. But yeah, it's some gray areas within poker. I know in Florida, the Seminole clubs that I would play at were extremely strict. Like if you handed somebody, let's say your buddy busted and you handed them $1,000 to keep playing, they would throw you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't, like back in Florida at the Seminole locations, you couldn't pass chips or money at all or loan in front of they're pretty strict. But
well, so that's obviously like a very strict rule of that casino, but if you're, there's videos of people playing on stream and grabbing money from other people's stacks or like
this is what Airball got suspended for at Hustler. Because I think he loaned some people some chips, and then that was against the rules.
Yeah, this is a pretty like loose definition of money laundering, but I guess Nick Airball has been banned from Hustler for breaking the rules about passing/selling chips. After multiple warnings, they have banned him for 12 months. Wow.
Yeah, it's a tough spot because not everyone brings enough chips to play, and usually like the big pro or they bring more, and then you like loan out to the guys that don't have enough on them, and it's a sticky situation.
So I saw another take on this, and I have to pull up my phone for this one, so excuse me on this, but okay, so I saw this on a Reddit thread. You can't convince me that this isn't just run-of-the-mill corruption. They shut down Lodge Austin, and it just so happens that TCH, which is Texas Card House, which promotes events with the Texas AG, is the main beneficiary. Meanwhile, Lodge San Antonio, where TCH has no presence, remains notably open. So TCH being Texas Card House, AG is the Attorney General. Ken Paxton, I guess, has a lot of events and connections with Texas Card House.
Yeah.
And some people are
I'm not sure about that, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Brandon, can you type in Ken
TCH
Paxton,
is crushing right now.
Sorry, what did you say?
Ken Paxton, Texas Card House. We were honored to host Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton at our new Texas Card House location, TCH Social in Austin, Texas.
Here in the state of Texas, the Attorney General Ken Paxton. Ken, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to be here.
Yeah, we don't need to roll the whole interview.
I'm doing great. I'm gonna see you guys later, and it's gonna be great.
So that's fucking nuts that the Attorney General is doing events with one card club. Meanwhile, the other one is getting raided by TABC.
Yeah, everyone talks about how buttoned up TCH is, and how they cover their asses, but so does Lodge. And so this raid was completely unexpected, I think, and pretty shocking. And it's gonna set precedent either way, whether if it goes to a legal battle and it's won or lost, it's going to be huge for Texas poker. Yeah, it's going to have a major impact.
Because what's interesting is, all right, so Round Rock is in Williamson County, which is a different county than Austin.
And that's what a lot of people are saying. It's a county thing.
Yeah,
it's like it's a political thing within the county because San Antonio wasn't hit, no other clubs were hit. It's just that county. So people don't really get this about living in Austin. So Austin is in Travis County, which is like a very, very liberal county. And, that comes with a lot of benefits. It comes with some drawbacks, but this is one. Like I have a friend that was, driving around with weed in his car and didn't realize that he had ventured into, a neighboring county, Hayes County, and he had a dab pen on him and he went to jail because of it, because he just wasn't paying attention. So the weird thing about living in these counties in Texas is there's different county by county laws. Pretty much all drugs are decriminalized in Austin. It's very hard to get arrested. It's very hard to go to jail. But you go just up the road, and all of a sudden you're in a deep red county. You are in the deep south again. If you get pulled over, you're going to fucking jail. Dude. My buddy got pulled over in the wrong county with a little bit of weed, and he's got court date.
Yeah, it's not safe.
Yeah.
It's not safe at all.
I was talking to him last night. I was in a poker game last night, and that's why I'm sounding so tired. I played from 2 p.m. to 6:30 a.m.
And it is currently
I slept
10:32.
I slept about 2 hours.
Still pulled up, made it to the pod. It's my hero.
Yeah.
But there's
I walked a whole 30 feet.
There's another aspect of this that I want to talk about, which is the raid happens, and the raid was done by TABC, which is Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission.
Yeah.
And TABC is like who I get, my liquor license to sell beer at the F1 track through. It is a little strange that was the committee that went in and kicked the door in, because when we're sitting around here and we hear that the lodge is getting raided, your initial thought is it's the FBI, right? Like something bad happened. There was some sort of illegal activity that we didn't know about going on. They're kicking the door in. No, it sounds like they used TABC as a workaround to kind of get in there.
Well, TABC also is responsible for gaming, I believe.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is? Interesting.
There's no gaming commission in Texas, but a part of their responsibilities is gaming. The Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission, TABC, is not primarily is not the primary state regulator for gambling, but it is responsible for enforcing laws against illegal gambling on premises that hold a TABC alcohol license.
Okay, so there it is. It's responsible for enforcing laws against illegal gambling.
While Texas has no commercial casino commission, TABC investigates if gambling devices defined by chance, consideration, and prize operate at licensed bars, restaurants, and card clubs, which can lead to license suspensions. I mean, they went after the big one. Yeah. There's tons of I've heard of tons of illegal rooms out there that are doing crazy shit, like operating casinos and little back alleys and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, poker has been determined to be a game of skill, not gambling. So that's why it's allowed to work, and it's within a loophole. But dude, I walked into across the street from my apartment. There's like a gas station that has slot machines in the back. Yeah. And if you walk in, taped underneath the slot machine is something that says, "This is not a gambling device. This is a game of skill." And you're like, "Is it?"
It's a button.
It's a button, man. This is this is the shit that you should be going after.
Yeah. I wish I played that last night instead of this poker game.
Yeah.
I got wrecked.
You did?
Oh, buried. Bad.
So you had a rough game last night, but the rough game and the lack of sleep aside, this is like a big impact for your life. The major card club, the place where you play on stream, this is where you're known from. This is where you get a large percentage of your action. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm not feeling too great about it, because I think it's not going to be anytime soon that this gets resolved. They, I believe they took computers and some cell phones, and now it's like a discovery process with no time limit. And there's been years of high stakes streams and wires and all this stuff that they have to go through line by line. That's, and the government, moves very slow. So it doesn't seem like this is going to be resolved anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, what's insane to me is...
But this is the first time the county or the state or they've gone after a card room with this kind of resource, these kinds of resources where they can fight back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it could be great for poker in the long run. Mm-hmm. Or it could be real bad.
So this is something that I hadn't thought about until now, but so we were talking about the 90-10 rule for poker, right? Where the 90-100 rule that the IRS or that was in the big beautiful bill.
Oh yeah, the new tax law for gambling.
Yeah, so you can only write off 90% of your losses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I think it gets interesting. If you can only write off 90% of your losses, is that on a day-by-day basis? Is it a session-by-session basis? Or is it a hand-by-hand basis? Because like if you're looking out at, like imagine this, right? You and I are sitting at a card table, right? And on a particular day, you come in and you lose $10,000 worth of hands, but you win $10,000 worth of hands. If we're playing on the 90-10 rule hand by hand, then you had a winning session.
It's not hand by hand.
Okay, so it's day by day, or
yeah. Well, you would just add up your total losses for the year and total wins.
Well, I don't think it's that crazy of a question because the IRS is involved in this, right? They're
Yeah.
kicking the door in. If they wanted to get technical, could they?
Oh,
do
there's
that?
no way to keep track hand by hand.
Yeah.
It's session by session.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's just a weird theory that I had. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about too is like the IRS came in, the TABC came in, they kicked the door in.
They said that, but they don't. I from what I heard, I don't think they saw any other. They didn't see any of those agents.
So it was all TABC and Williamson County Police.
But I could be wrong. I mean, I wasn't there, and I'm not completely sure. Is this the article that just came out 4 minutes ago?
All right, let's check it out.
We should read this one.
So the Lodge Club raid warrant details $1.35 million in suspicious deposits. Here we go. All right, Poker News has obtained the search and seizure warrant leading to the raid of the Lodge Poker Club in Texas, and it's packed with financial transactions the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission deems to be suspicious. The 22-page affidavit outlines the process the TABC took to investigate the largest poker room in the Lone Star State beginning in June 2024. Okay, so they've been looking at him since then. Brandon, up just a little bit, I'm sorry. Accusations against the Lodge Card Club are as follows. The affidavit has revealed the following 5 accounts that are alleged to be in violation of the laws of the state of Texas. Let me read that again just because this is important. The affidavit has revealed the following 5 accounts that are alleged to be in violation of the laws of the state of Texas. Number 1, Texas Penal Code 71.02a, engaging in organized criminal activity. That's pretty generic.
Wow.
2, Texas Penal Code 34.02, money laundering. Texas Penal Code 47.03, promotion of gambling. Number 4, Texas Penal Code 47.04, keeping a gambling place. And number 5, Texas Penal Code 47.06, possession of gambling device, equipment, or paraphernalia. So
that could be a deck of cards.
So yeah, there's no slot machines in the lodge, so they're referring to anything
1, 2,
related to
3,
poker.
4, 5. 5 alleged to be in violation of 5 counts. Okay. Keep going. Large deposits lead to money laundering suspicion.
All right. Agent Douglas Bell with the TABC, upon receiving a confidential report of some questionable financial activity associated with the Lodge Card Club, which is co-owned by high-profile poker players Doug Polk, Andrew Nemi, and Brad Owen, among other investors, began to investigate. The investigation process started with Bell discovering the TABC had granted the business a liquor license. No shit. On June 13th, Agent Bell started observing the Round Rock Texas Poker Club from the exterior. He then, apparently based on the confidential info, began requesting bank records of the Lodge Card Club and its affiliated businesses. Bank records were received by the end of August 2024, and the TABC then analyzed the various transactions, many of which were presented in the affidavit. Investigators noted that during the first 2 months of 2025, approximately $1.35 million was deposited from the lodge through the Loomis cash vault located inside the club into a bank account held by Tempest Holdings, Inc., a business associated with the Lodge Card Club. The above listed transactions are believed to be in support of and constitute evidence of illegal activity taking place in the Lodge Card Club. The search warrant reads, Polk Jake Abdallah, Jason Levin. The three main stakeholders in the lodge are listed as signers on the sweeps business bank account, which is used to move money automatically into a higher interest account. Approximately $808,000 worth of transactions from a Tempest Holdings account into the sweeps account were made between January 1st and February 28, 2025. Okay, this is a little blurry, but these are basically just bank transactions.
40.
I can't make them less blurry, but they're like I can see them a little better, like $165,000, $200,000.
Yeah.
125.
40, 125, 100, 15, 25, 25. Investigators play poker on lodge visits.
Okay, so let's start there. All right, it looks like they're just saying that there's...
Okay, so on April 17th, 2025, the TABC began an undercover investigation into the lodge, which included multiple trips with multiple agents playing poker. Agents were given $600 each to play some cards on the first trip.
Nice.
Agent Teague purchased $200 worth of chips, while Agent Alfro bought in for $100, both playing 1-2 no limit cash games. I bet they suck. Each undercover agent meticulously noted the chips purchased, the beverages ordered while playing, whether security guards were present, and how much they won or lost during each session. A second undercover operation took place on May 9th, 2025. 4 additional undercover poker playing operations took place. The last one on January 30th, 2026. During the final session, Agent Teague inquired with a manager about hosting a private poker game at the lodge.
All right, let's see if we can read that. I'm going to give it a shot. All right, UC Agent Teague, informed to eventually made his way to the management area in the middle of the gambling floor, made contact with Jason Marinucci, who identified himself as the tournament manager. UC Agent Teague inquired about hosting a private game for an event and was introduced to the GM, Johnny Grooms. Grooms told UC Agent Teague a package could be put together including alcohol and food service, and that the game could be hosted as a cash game where players could continually buy in more chips, or a tournament style where after an initial buy-in, then play is established. When asked about membership requirements for the private event, he stated they would comp the players in membership so there would be no additional costs. At approximately 1:26, UC Agent Teague returned to the cashier, exchanging his remaining chips for the same amount in cash, and both UC agents exited the location without incident. Sounds like everything's above board so far, except maybe the comp and memberships. All right, let's keep going.
That was impressive that you read that.
I'm working my hardest, dude. Reading aloud is not my skill set, so bear with me, everybody.
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, fuck yeah, Brandon.
All
Hit
right.
it.
Attempt to prove illegal gambling. Gambling is illegal in the Lone Star State, but Texas Penal Code 4704 lends for the possibility of legal poker so long as no rake is collected. That leaves card rooms such as the Lodge and TCH, the 2 largest poker brands in the state, forced to operate differently than the traditional brick-and-mortar poker rooms found in most states. Instead of taking a rake, these rooms charge membership or seat fees, but the Lodge Card Club, along with money laundering suspicion, is also under investigation for illegal gambling. The undercover agents made note of the membership process required to play at the Lodge. Agent Teague, upon leaving the club, informed the TABC agents that he was never asked about providing proof of or the need to purchase a membership while inside the club, the affidavit reads. However, it was also noted that the other agents were informed they must purchase a membership when they entered a game.
So Teague was able to play without obtaining a membership? He was just never asked about it?
Yeah, and was he the one that brought the most money in too? Do you think that has something to do with it, that he was playing with the most and that was why? I mean, it was only like $300. It's not like it was a large amount. And then it says, curse letter, Petrangelo among Lodge co-investors.
All right, the warrant also, Brandon, by the way, crushed it on the fucking reading today.
Thanks, dude.
There we go. The warrant also revealed details about Tempest Holding Inc.'s shareholders, which proved some insight into Polk's investor team that purchased the Lodge back in 2022. Polk, Abdallah, and Levin are listed as combined majority shareholders, owning 63.3% of the company between them. The other 18 named investors each hold stakes under 7%. All right, this doesn't seem too important.
Including poker vlogger Owen and Nimi, who are most commonly associated with the Lodge ownership in the past. The warrant also lists notable poker players and content creators such as Jamie Kerstetter, Nick Petrangelo, Ryan Fee, Jamin Burton, and Polk's longtime editor, Thomas Seriously Serious Keeling as co-investor in the Carter.
The video editors. Okay, all right, here we go. Fee and Petrangelo also collaborated with Polk on the poker training site Upswing, which sold in August 2025 to online sweepstakes poker site Club WT Gold. Okay, so, all right, this is, I guess, what's most important. What's next for the Lodge? 1 week after the raid and charges still haven't been filed. It's unclear if that will change in the coming days. But another Texas poker room, the Lodge Card Club in Austin, remains... Okay, what? Why is that sentence in there? Remains closed. Yeah. Okay, that's just shitty sentence wording, but what do you expect? The Lodge Card Club in San Antonio, however, is still in operation. Polk released a statement on Monday saying, I did not participate and still have no knowledge of any money laundering operations inside the Lodge. So all of the charges seem to be pretty loose. It seems like they're just basically saying that one guy didn't have a membership and was able to play.
Yeah.
I mean, when this happened...
that seems pretty weak.
It seems weak, but the difficult thing is because they're playing in a gray area around illegal gambling in Texas, it seems like they can come in and just shut down the room. And honestly, the fact that you can shut down an operation with no official charges is fucking bullshit. You can prevent a business from operating with no evidence that they're doing anything illegal. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Bit of a robbery with a badge.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a badge robbery to me. So let's hear what Dougie has to say about it. All right, this is a statement from Doug. I did not participate in and still have no knowledge of any money laundering in the operation of the Lodge. I understand that some people assume that because there was a search warrant, a crime must have been committed. But that's not really how the process works. A search warrant is just one step in an investigation based on an affidavit from law enforcement. That affidavit has not been given to the Lodge or made public. My heart goes out to the hundreds of Lodge employees whose jobs are in jeopardy. These are good, kind, hardworking people, and it's painful to see them struggle through this uncertainty. I also care deeply about the situation for our members. There are numerous people with both chip balances and tournament payouts that cannot be processed. I want to reiterate that these members will be made whole, and I will personally make sure that happens in coordination with my attorneys so that is done properly. With the advice of my lawyers, I am committed to cooperating with law enforcement officials, answering questions they may have, and doing everything I can to clear up the confusion of what has and has not happened at the Lodge. I expect to provide another update soon once more information is available. My attorneys have an opportunity to fully assess the situation. In the meantime, I appreciate your patience and support.
Yeah. I mean, that affidavit again was pretty weak.
It's weak sauce, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, well, nothing's really wrong, but they didn't ask for me to get a membership. One of the investigators. Okay, like, and then they asked the other ones.
So he did.
But it's like, that's like the foot in the door is like, oh, well, I played there and I wasn't technically a member. Let's shut them down.
Yeah, so
for illegal gambling.
The interesting thing here is that the whole illegal part is a rake, right? You're not allowed to take a rake. So the way that they make money as opposed to that is a seat fee. But if
2 members only.
Yeah, but if you're not collecting a seat fee off of someone and you're not taking the rake, then it's still not illegal. So what the fuck are we even talking about? And on top of that, it sounds like this guy did purchase the membership and he just wasn't asked for it at the time that he entered.
Yeah.
But you could say like, okay, like if you walk into a bar and they know you're 21 and you walk into that bar and you go, okay, this guy's 21. I've seen him. You walk into that bar 3-4 times. By the 4th time you come in, the bouncer knows you, just goes, go ahead. That doesn't mean that they're operating and letting minors in. It means that they know that you're 21 years old because you go to the fucking bar all the time.
Yeah.
And it would be insane to ask someone who's clearly of age for the license one more time. It's horseshit. And I don't know. I think the idea of like, yeah, you can just shut down a business without formal charges during a unlimited time period discovery phase seems like complete horseshit to me.
Yeah, I mean, we read that. I haven't. That was the first time reading that report, and that kind of makes me hopeful, I think, for the future.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like something they can't, battle and win that argument in court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
crazy stuff. I had a bunch of stream seats too this month in the next month or two.
really?
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, we love watching you play poker live. It's fucking sweet. So, dude, yeah, this is
Might have to go out to LA.
I mean, this seems like the equivalent of, the mothership getting raided, and shut down.
For you, yeah. For comedy.
And it's like, if the mothership were to shut down, I'm not a regular at the mothership, but it would still affect my business very heavily, right? Because if you take something and it's like, yeah, it's just one of the clubs and it's gone. It's like, yeah, that, it doesn't directly affect me because I don't perform there, but it would affect me if all of a sudden the 10 biggest comics in Austin, Texas decided to leave because they don't have a home anymore. And I'm sure it would affect you if you're like, yeah, I play at TCH too, playing other games, but, oh, well, the lodge is shut down. All of a sudden, all the guys that I play with are moving. All of a sudden, Nick Airball is not coming down and visiting anymore because why the fuck would he? Then that affects poker pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Shit. All right, we'll go over the last two tabs real quick. So this is the official statement from the lodge. To our valued members, as you may be seeing from news reports, state police in the Texas and the TABC executed a search warrant at the Lodge Card Club. Our attorneys are working to understand the reasons behind the search. This is basically echoed by Doug.
Yeah,
so
I think this is old. I think this is a bit old.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's
That's crazy. We got the affidavit now.
But let's check out the Tom Dwan beef between Doug. So Doug goes, I'm waiting on some additional information, but I will make an in-depth statement within the next day about what's going on with the lodge. And Tom Dwan goes, you made a lot of your brand out of going after people in times like this. I hope you can take a minute to reflect and realize the negatives of some of those choices. Hope you do stuff like that less in the future. What the fuck is he talking about?
Well, Doug's always, in the middle of the controversy in the poker world.
Mm-hmm.
And, he makes videos on it and sensationalizes it. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to, in times like this, there's going to be some people that are chirping back.
Got it. So if you go after someone during the drama, you're just going to get hit back hard. Damn, man. How are you feeling about the whole situation?
I mean, I'm glad that he personally guaranteed all the players' funds, because there's the majority of the poker community has chips locked up at the lodge. There's a lot of grinders that are having trouble paying their bills because their bankrolls are locked up, having trouble playing poker because their bankrolls are locked up. They had a lot of faith and trust in the lodge, as did I. I think this is a bit of a reach by the county and by the officials. It's it sucks. It sucks real bad.
It just shows, like, when you're operating within the game of skill loophole, just how tight you have to run your operation.
Yeah.
Because it could come down to just some guy coming in. You go, oh, he's a member. We've seen him here before. And you give him a head nod and let him sit down at a table. And even though you know him, you know who he is, and you know he's got a membership.
Yeah, and they used they asked for a private setting, and then he's like, oh, we could waive the membership for your guests or something. I guess the membership cost. He didn't say they didn't have to sign up, though. It seems kind of weak.
Yeah. And
real weak.
Again, they're not asking for a rake on that game. in that private game. There's plenty of private games that operate within the lodge that do not take a rake. As a matter of fact, none of them take a rake. So,
but like,
the fuck are we even talking about?
That point you made earlier about the Reddit post. I mean, this does greatly benefit the competition.
Yeah,
I already played at TCH once, and it was packed. Mm-hmm. Like there was barely any empty tables. I mean, it was thousands of people just flooding in there.
I mean, yeah, man. And if you're greasing up, look, and I'm not meaning to imply that like the Texas card house is sucking off Ken Paxton, but if you do have a relationship with Ken Paxton and you're hosting him in your room and all of a sudden you don't get rated and the other guy does, it seems like there might be some nefarious activity going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you this too. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, there's no way that there's never been a similar situation at other card rooms that are still operating.
So I know that there's been tons of raids in smaller rooms, and they don't have the funds the resources to defend themselves, and they just get crushed. And their money gets seized, and they basically just shut down.
Yeah.
When this happens, the lodge, on the other hand, it's a different story. And they're gonna fight. So I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. But I have bright hopes for the future.
So what is the official rule? Like if the club is not received any official charges, like they haven't been charged with any crime, they're just being searched in suspicion of a crime.
Yeah.
Can they reopen in the meantime?
I suppose, but they have to. I mean, they're going to be extremely careful. And then the issue of like, I don't know how much money was confiscated, but then that has to be sorted out.
Yeah. I mean, that is tough.
And yeah, they're gonna be on the cautious side and make sure they understand the scope of what's going on before. I think it's just going to be a long time.
It's also like if the bank accounts and assets related to a business are frozen, you don't have the means to pay employees in the meantime.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are people like Anastasia supposed to do for the next month? Just sit around?
There's hundreds of dealers and staff, cocktail waitresses, chefs, busboys, bartenders, cage people that they all pay their bills through the lodge. It's not a good time for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to continue to be a shitty situation. I guess we can only say like we hope it improves.
I was deep in the trenches of.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about the trenches from last night? So let's break this down. After last week, we decided we're going to do a nice early roll today. So 9 a.m. roll.
I've been waking up at 7 a.m. almost every day, going to sleep at 11, and this game just got out of hand.
I checked my phone this morning. I had a text from JC at 6:45 a.m. going to bed. We'll see about tomorrow.
This was one of those games where the chips were in the right place the entire game, so the game was just never going to stop. The big action player was down a ton early.
We legit recreated this meme this morning. My alarm went off and I rolled over and you were like, I'm going to bed, and I was waking up after going to bed at 3 and I was like, we could always do just one episode.
Yeah, one episode is the absolute play today, man. Yeah, so tell me about the game last night. What went down?
It was insane action, and I got my face kicked in. I didn't play great, and that's the frustrating part. But the deck wasn't very kind either. I think at one point I was down 90,000, and I climbed my way back to like down 30K, and was feeling good. And we were playing, I think, heads up at this point. Mm-hmm. We played for a few hours 5-handed, a few hours 4-handed, a few hours 3-handed, and then finally it was just heads up, and we played for another hour, and I almost got out of the hole, and then he just crushed me. Yeah, and it was a very successful guy that is just nearly impossible to bluff and has an unlimited bankroll, and so he can apply like an Andy Beal type. He can just apply max pressure to you, and so there's no amount that makes him uncomfortable, and so it's tough to play against. And he was wrecking me, absolutely wrecking me. The aggression really benefits the shorter handed the game is, because it's just so hard to make a decent hand. So whoever has like the most aggression is going to have an advantage. And this guy was just, I mean, we played 3-handed for hours, and me and this other, professional player, I would say, we just didn't make a hand versus this guy forever. And every time he was blasting off, we didn't have a medium strength hand to call down. And then every time he had it, it would be like a cooler, where we would have a super strong hand, and he would have just a little better. Yeah. Just it's like stars aligning.
Kicking your ass, man.
Yeah. I've seen it a few times. It's crazy to watch. Like the amount of times I watched him go runner, float on flop with nothing, or raise flop with nothing, and then hit perfect card.
It's the name of the game, man.
Oh, is that Tahoe?
It is.
That's beautiful.
Man, you ever see a photo like that and you go, why do I live in Texas? There's a casino with a poker room there.
That would be nice to be at right now.
You could just live there right now. Well, sweet, man. Yeah. Dude, I think people came to hear about the lodge. They got what they came for. So any, I guess, closing question for this. You're in the community. You're obviously friends with pretty much everyone of note that plays at the lodge.
Yeah.
What is the vibe like right now?
It's bleak.
Bleak.
Yeah, it's bleak. It's not great. But Doug issuing that statement and reiterating it multiple times that he's personally guaranteeing all players' funds is huge. He's got kind of a name that's too big to fail in that regard. I trust him. So I think the players' funds are safe, and if the worst comes to worst, he's going to make everybody whole, and but hopefully this just clears up and Lodge reopens its doors.
Yeah,
it's one of the best places I've ever played poker, one of my favorite. So that would be really sad to see it go, and it would set precedent for
the end of poker.
Yeah, I mean,
Texas.
Texas poker would not be in a good spot.
No, it seems like it's already in a pretty rough position, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Brandon, how are you feeling?
I a couple of weeks ago told you I had a video to show you guys, and then I never showed it. Have you ever seen the video where the poker player tears his ACL celebrating his win?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen this?
Yeah, Justin.
Joe, have you seen this?
Let's check it out.
Would now give him an ace-high straight in the victory. So Justin Smith must catch a king. There's the board. Can he escape?
10. And he starts hopping. There's hopping. Boom.
Oh, God.
Look how excited he is. His fans, his friends.
Oh, that's years of pain.
Something's wrong out there.
Something's wrong out there.
He's doubled over. He's really in pain.
So one guy goes, "Don't worry, we'll worry about it tomorrow with our millions."
No bluff, let me tell you.
That's Mike Matisow. I played against him in Texas. That guy.
They say that poker's not a sport, but this is like...
Well, this is pretty serious. People are rushing to Justin's side.
I'm really hoping it'll be okay. I'm able to play. I'll play it out.
Tournament officials will stop.
Fucking better play it out. You
I may be able to play.
Yeah, it says suffered a torn left ACL while competing.
It's not like you have to go in and run after people, man.
Yeah, play it out.
Well, if you're playing at the lodge, you might have to run.
There it is. We're done. See ya. Bye, guys.
See?